According to a recent report by the Society of Human Resource Management, or SHRM, about half of the hourly workers resign within the first 4 months in a position, while half of the senior outside hires resign within 18 months. And the cost of early turnover are extremely high, according to SHRM. It could cost up to 5 times a bad hire's annual salary just to replace them. Every year, thousands of organizations just like yours literally spend billions of dollars on onboarding, yet they still don't have any idea of how effective their investments are because they don't measure the impact. Well, we here at Knowledge Advisors know how to help. Using the Metrics That Matter Onboarding Edition, you'll be able to answer questions such as, how can we improve the quality of hire? What capabilities do new hires need to gain sooner rather than later? And how do we improve the onboarding experience? The Metrics That Matter Onboarding Edition will provide you the technology and measurement tools that will give you the insights you need to ensure the success of your new employees. Let's take a look and see how it all works. Many organizations, as they bring new employees in, want to test their knowledge and skills as it relates to their position. So you may want to do a multiple choice, fill in the blank, essay, or matching type test within Metrics That Matter. And we can do that both before and after a curriculum path and they begin the program. So here's an example of where we can gauge overall knowledge, pre and post, check out the delta, and maybe provide some remediation or point them to other resources, whether it be in SharePoint or YouTube or what have you. As they continue down that path, they're going to participate in those curriculum programs. We need to establish a cadence for measurement, evaluations, and analysis. Here's an idea of where we can provide a follow-up evaluation instrument on the effectiveness of their new hire program or course, the impact that that program has had since they've been back on the job, how critical has it been, what percent of work time is related to the knowledge and skills that they learned in the program, and how long did it take to start to apply that? Or have there been any barriers to successful application back on the job? Once we get that feedback and it processes through Metrics That Matter, we can then start to do the analysis on the data. For instance, using an onboard and variance report as it relates to those onboarding programs. Here we can see we've got a benchmark related to the top 25% of the scores in Metrics That Matter, and it's top box versus bottom box. If we need to drill in to see a little bit more detail on the data, like for instance where these 9 evaluations came from, we can simply do a drill down analysis, see where those 9 evaluations came from, what their score was, and when the classes took place. Even look at the comments if necessary. Once we start to gather that feedback, there's over 100 standard reports in Metrics That Matter that will allow you to do analysis on the information. Now, as the person goes through their day-to-day operations in their job, maybe it's 30 days, maybe it's 90 days into their position, it's a good time to do a 360 multi-rater assessment. So here's an example of how the person would do a self-assessment first, and then also get feedback from their manager, direct reports, and peers. This data then can be presented back to those individuals in a 360 report, as we see here. Now we can see what was your direct reports, your manager scores, peers, and yourself, how those all compare by rater type, what competencies are at the top of your list, and where could there be some room for improvement. Another way to look at this data is in the form of a radar graph. It's a great way to look at the information and plot your effectiveness in each of the areas you see here on the screen. This report also provides for qualitative feedback as well. Maybe it's not a 360 assessment that you're looking for, but more on a straight employee survey on the onboarding process. Metrics That Matter can provide you with that type of functionality by asking your new employees on the onboarding process. We then can provide specific reports down to the manager level at the click of a button. So we can easily see what was the overall score, the sales organization, and down to the manager, Michael Jones. Each category, question by question, can also be provided to that specific manager. Or maybe it's the folks within your HR organization that need to see more of an aggregate report on the highest or lowest scoring categories. Maybe it's the highest or lowest scoring questions, so they can start to put targeted plans together for those individual groups. Now, to round out the Metrics That Matter Onboarding Edition, we'll take a look at a dashboard. This is a great way to visualize the key metrics we've discussed today, like new employee speed to performance, new hire satisfaction, onboarding program effectiveness, activity around those programs, recruitment measures, and cost per hire, just to name a few. The dashboard you see here can be used in live virtual meetings or even pushed out via the Metrics That Matter dashboard iPad app to your mobile workforce. The Metrics That Matter Onboarding Edition provides you with one easy-to-use system to help you answer the questions we posed at the beginning of the session. How can you improve the quality of hire? What capabilities do new hires need to gain sooner rather than later? And how do we improve the onboarding experience within the organization? We greatly appreciate you viewing this demonstration and hope you've found it valuable and useful. You may contact us by phone or email using the information on the screen, or simply visit knowledgeadvisors.com. Thank you.